And yet again, we learn about the true character of Prince Harry, more than willing to slur a member of the public who was the older woman that he apparently lost his virginity to. She was what, 2, 3 years older than him? And I say good on her for getting as much money as she can selling her story now.
He is so thoughtless. This is just the latest example in how classless and thoughtless this guy is, and how much better off he was when we didn't know him. The more we get to know him, the less we like him. And in fact, it's turning now to active disdain. What he did to this poor woman, he made it sound like it was a Mrs. Robinson situation where it was like an older woman, you know, like the mother of a friend. No, she was 4 years older. They're both teenagers. Okay, that's not really, but okay. And left the trail of breadcrumbs right to this woman. She accurately saw it coming. She doesn't have a lot of money. She's not a person of means. And she was embarrassed. And she came out and said, all right, fine, this is it. This is how it happened. But he's not a gentleman, Paul. He has no class. And we saw that in the way he referred to a very well-known newspaper woman with absolutely disgusting terms, the way he referred to a woman who was at Eton, and the terms he used about her, an elderly woman. Like, he has no thought for anybody. And it's perfect irony, of course, because he and his wife are lecturing us every other day and how we're supposed to talk about people, especially women. That's his wife's whole podcast. You're not allowed to say the B word. You're not allowed to say, I don't, difficult. And, oh, well, can you say all the horrible things he said about the News Corp woman? Because that's kind of out there in left field when it comes to proper discourse. And he's a hypocrite. He's a classless, vulgar hypocrite, and he's laid it all bare.
And it also shows us that the obsession is always with showbiz and little people. They're just for waving at or driving past or buying books or listening to podcasts. Because we see that they went to the wedding vow renewals of Ellen and Australia's Portia de Rossi.
It's perfect, really. It's perfect because they were about as close to Ellen as Oprah was to them when they invited her to their wedding. This is what they think about. Like, my wedding, we had, I think, 140 people. It was all people who I knew intimately, who I had had many social experiences with, or my husband had, or both. Who invites some random celebrity to their wedding or their vow renewal? It speaks as poorly of Ellen as it does of them. And by the way, it's not like Ellen is some hugely popular celebrity anymore here in the United States. People loathe her. She turned out to be a massive bully to all the people on her set. Follow the thread. She was reported to not look people. She didn't want the staffers to look her in the eye when they walked by her in the hallways. She would only deal with only the top executives. She didn't want people speaking to her. Does that remind you of anybody? Yes, similar reports about Meghan Markle bullying her staff and thinking she was better than the little people. No wonder they got the invite.